So I do hope to go into the theatre industry and hopefully become an actress.
Yes, I am.
Yes, I am. I am planning to do a degree in music at university and follow into the creative arts. Yes, I think the documentary would inspire me. It'd be really interesting to hear industry professionals talk about how they find the work, and I think it would motivate me to carry on working towards my goals and think about my career options.
I think this documentary will inspire me to follow my dreams because not only does it put things into perspective from the point of view of professionals who have been there and done that and succeeded, it can also show me where I could be at if I keep working hard, and I think that will be helpful.
I think it would be really interesting to see other people's take on it, because it's always good to know how other people can get into doing their dreams as well.
Yes, I definitely say there's a need for this kind of documentary. If people aren't inspired about the career they want to do before they try and go into it, or they aren't motivated, they're never going to be able to succeed because it's a tough industry. But if you're motivated, then you'll get where you want to be.
I think it will also be necessary, the documentary, because of the competitive nature of the industry. You get a lot of negative thoughts that creep into your head where you compare yourself to other people, you get criticism, especially for young people. I think encouragement from people who understand what you're going through, that will be very helpful to keep a positive outlook on what you want to do.
Yeah, because there's a lot of talk about how difficult it is really to get into to the creative industry as a whole, and I think something that allows people to see that people can follow their dream and get there, that's a really good idea.
The most interesting bit for me would be hearing the industry professionals talk about their experiences in the industry. I think that's so valuable to be able to hear it straight from the people who have experienced it most, and that would be really useful.
My favourite bit of the documentary is probably the third bit about the rewards, because it's very easy to fall in the trap of only meeting the needs of your ego through the attention you get and the glitz and glamour that you see of the industry. And the moment that you think that all you're doing is you're pleasing your ego, and you want fame or whatever, that's when you go into downfall. So I think it's important and interesting to see how performing arts, it further contributes to society, and why other people do it. It's also important to use that to defend the arts, to let people know that we don't have to be doctors or lawyers to actually make an impact on society.
I think the talking with people who've actually made it, getting their insight, I think that would be the most inspiring thing for people to actually see how it can be done and that it can be done.
I'd say the least part that I would find interesting would be about how hard it is to get in, because I sort of know that already. I've heard a lot from other people who've tried to get into the industry or tried to get on a degree in theatre and haven't managed it the first time. But it's all about the passion and working towards it and carrying on going, because if you're motivated enough, then I'm sure people will get there.
To be honest, I find the whole documentary quite interesting as an aspiring actress. However, if I do have to improve one thing, I'd say the first part about how hard it is to get into the industry. It might be discouraging, and as I said before, it's important for aspiring actors to know that, to keep a positive outlook.
I think that the style could be played with a little more. I think perhaps it could be explored in more ways than just interview and have, I don't know specifically, but just a different take than just the one flat face to face. That's what I think anyway, from my knowledge.
I think it would be really interesting to hear from people who are training, so they're just doing a degree or something in theatre, so they're just beginning to take their first steps in the industry, and how they found that, and if they are pleased that they're still working towards those goals, or how it's worked out for them. Obviously, hearing from industry professionals would be really useful, but hearing from people who are training at the time would also be really important, because they're more my age, so they would understand more and I could relate to them more easily.
One thing I'll add to the documentary is probably a segment where you follow other aspiring actors or other young actors to see what steps they're taking and see what level they're at the moment in, say, preparing for drama school or auditions or anything.